I do believe we are live. So, looking at the puddles the dog left me. Can you see it? You can. There we go. Do I need more? Yes. There is more necessary here. Maximum turbulence. He's gonna get something here as well. And then we should be done. This piece. And that piece. Let me put you down like this. It is so incredibly hot again today. I don't have the microphones connected yet, so I won't try and put the fan on. I'll get a piece of the Gorilla Glue. It is so very hot. Let's get some water left in here. Hey, Jovan. It's nice having you. Let's start. Oh my goodness. Jeebers. Jeebers Boobers. My freaking leather baggie wasn't as close as it was supposed to be. Nothing broke. At least. Oh my goodness, my freaking heart is breaking though. I breathe. I breathe. There we go, that's nice. Alright. Now I got everything set up. Ish. I still need to shorten those legs, technically. I'll put you here for now. Maximum chaos to start a stream with. I'm still cringing with dropping my stuff. The cringe is still flowing through me. Yes. Maximum cringe. That's one of my rules. To not break my own stuff. And I was being hastily. And I made mistakes. And my mind is being like, again. Still. Yeah, see. Okay. Today's stream topic is about rules. Why is this thing having poor connectivity? Must just be the actual connection. Rules. Yeah. Today's stream topic is one about rules. I do not particularly like rules. You might have found this out about me. In the meanwhile, that's a pretty sky, pretty palms, reaching for it. Sharing some more of the world with you friends. There we go. The lighting is probably still gonna be blasting. If I do it like this, I can be one of the brighter spots. There we go. Hey Joy Vive. It's nice having you here too. I am stuck right now. And in this moment, thinking about rules. Maybe a part of me can share some of my perspective with you friends uh, I've been thinking about the fractal of building a home. All right. No matter where I go, I'm going to have somewhere to live. And again, I'm not saying like this from a perspective of I now have all the money I need to just build myself a house if I wanted to. It's more, if I wanted to build myself a house, how much money would I need? As a question, right? As a perspective. And then I go and I do my research online and I find the cost of materials, and I run into the understanding that there are many a hoop you have to jump through if you want to build your own home. Like a bunch of hoops. And it, to be completely honest, disheartened me a little bit. It made me feel a sense of I want to say like sad words, but the words that my mind is generating is anarchy words. The sky looks fake. Tell us, Joe. Did it look even realer? IRL. We do have very nice skies here in South Africa. I'll give us that. South Africa's beautiful place. Yeah. IRL, it all felt like it was brighter there, which shouldn't make sense. I think it is. I think it literally is brighter here. You know, like the actual irradiance, is that the word, is higher here. To put it in another way, if you had solar energy, your solar performs very well here in South Africa, as opposed to where it might in some of your friends' worlds. I wonder if I can do one-to-one. Let me see. Me and my friends are talking about solar right now, and one of them was talking about how when they were in South Africa, they felt like it was brighter here. And I argued that it is literally brighter here because we have like higher irradiance than she has where she lives in Indiana. And I'm curious if that actually can be backed by some proper numbers. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Typo, for making that sentence unironically not make sense. I felt like it was brighter there. I felt like it was. Let's see what the internet says. Your observations are correct. Why does this thing say Malawi? Why are you saying Malawi, bro? Why are you telling me about Malawi's irridance and not South Africa's? Yeah. You should apologize for the confusion in your previous response. South Africa experiences varying levels of solar irradiance across its regions. On average, the country receives 4.5 to 6.5 kilowatt hours per square meter a day of solar energy. Indiana's is like 1,300. What? That cannot be right. Annual, okay, that's per day. Let's do per day numbers, please. This thing is like giving me data that's mismatched, right? Giving me annual data and then daily data in the same paragraph. Suddenly I'm like an angry teacher. Indiana you can expect 4 to 4.5 kilowatt hours per square meter, and in South Africa, you can expect 4.5 to 6.5. So our minimum brightness level is your maximum brightness level here in South Africa. Just to like think about it from a solar panel's perspective, you know, like it looking into the sky. It knows that it's brighter as well. It literally gets more energy because of it. So yeah, South Africa is very well poised to generate gigachads levels of solar energy as well. In fact, we actually have a pretty high adoption curve, but it's slowed down now again since we're not dealing with load shedding in the same way anymore. We were dealing with a lot of power outages in December though. Like a lot. Like we had, I think, something like 8 power outages in the first 2 weeks of me being back home or something like that. It was ridiculous. You know, solar. In my mind, you know, like this idea that I have, maybe I can even show you this. I can show you. It's not flipping. So like I built this little thing in Blender. Those little toruses are supposed to be representing tires, right? So the idea is to spend as little money as possible on building a home, ideally, right? And then in my mind, the way I envision that happening is you hire out some heavy machinery, and then you start by almost like creating a pocket into the dirt, right? And then into that pocket, you use materials that are being literally burned. They burn the tires here in South Africa. So if it cannot be burned, great. That's fantastic for our environment. So taking those tires and then building a kind of like whole wall, kind of like a deep wall, you know, like energy retaining wall on the back side of the house, and then putting solar panels over top of them. They're not that expensive anymore. That amount of solar panels still produce like 19,000 watt hours, you know, like a 19 kilowatt system. That's a lot. It's a lot of kilowatts. It's like about the amount of energy you'll need per day being generated per hour in at least direct sunlight. So I don't know if it would be, I think I would lose a lot of the energy, but it is still, technically speaking, I think, a relatively cheap roofing material. And then you can use like T-brackets that like seal the crevices. Wow, so it is brighter there. Amazing. Literally brighter here. By apparently let's say an average of 1,000 kilowatt hours per square meter. No, wrong number. 2 kilowatt hours per square meter. Hey, Mr. Merkobastic, it's nice having you here too. Yeah, it's bright down here. And if you're wondering how much those panels would cost, that's 35 of them. All right. So I don't know if you could see in that video as well. There were two iterations. Right? You see that back iteration? That back iteration is the same amount of panels, but stacked 7 by 5 in a different way. So that it basically creates a longer home instead of a deeper home. And it would be, for all of those panels, let me do this quickly. What does roofing cost? Specifically for about 800 square feet. It's the floor plan, at least, for those panels. Roofing for 800 square feet would be about $26 a meter. Why are you giving me my currency in those units, please give it to me in dollars. It's giving me some sort of currency that I don't know. It's literally freaking pulling information from my IP and trying to give me information based on that. Stop. It's still doing it, but now it's just converting them. So it's gonna be approximately $1,500 in material costs. Right? So it's gonna be almost double the price in material cost, but then your materials literally produce electricity. I think there probably will be some extra expenses in waterproofing and brackets, and you'll still have to have a structure keeping up the actual panels. Most of the structure, at least, will be tensile strength on the sides. Not tensile strength, just like load bearing strength. My mind has been thinking about this stuff a lot, right? And as I'm thinking about this stuff, like, I'm just thinking about the being able to afford. Is that Johan? Is that Johan? Are Johan? Might be. If it is, bless you, bro. Might be Johan. I've been thinking about you a lot. Let me see on this side. Hope everyone is doing good. It's nice having you here, bro. Bless you. Lekker om jou stem te hoor, homie. Denk baie aan jou. Hoop alles gaan goed. Ek dink baie aan jou ook, dude. Like, I've actually been thinking about Johan extra. Like, extra. And then I keep getting to this point. You know what? Watch. I'm gonna do it now. I was gonna say, I keep getting to this point where I think about my friend, and then I don't send them a message. Alright, and now I can. I'm gonna do it right now. So many of my freaking numbers got borked. So I have to resave every single one of my numbers again. Like, I'm realizing how many messages I have that's unanswered. Yes. And there he is. We're gonna do a highception. Love you, bro. Thinking about you bunches. Johan is my favorite of your friends. He has such great energy. You better not let Christian hear that. He'll lose his mind. I hope Johan was here to hear that. That's super nice, Joy. Sending him extra blessings. Let me get this restarted quickly. Okay. For you, or who we designing for? For myself, right? Like, I have this fantasy in my head of living in an earthship. Like, it is hot in South Africa right now. And it's probably not gonna get any less hot anytime soon. So building our buildings with that in mind, in my mind, is what we're supposed to do. And building buildings in the way that we have doesn't seem to be any better for any particular reason other than aesthetics. Alright? It looks like what a house in some people's heads is supposed to look like. Right, I have this whole idea in my mind of having a little space that is comfortable, that is one with the earth, that is being kept cool by it, that is being heated by it, that is being given the energy that it needs on that grounds. So much love. I'm good in so many ways, and in other ways, I'm growing. How are you, friend? Thank you for asking. Do let us know. To the friends who don't know, I can give you some content. I don't know if Johan is still here, but Johan is starting his PhD this year. He's being paid to get his PhD this year, in fact. So, sending him all of the strength in the world. We know that's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard work the next 3 years, right? 2 years for your PhD. So, we're going to have to go and visit Johan, you know. That if you got a notification, every time I thought of you, your phone would be blowing up. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And eventually we'll be able to send notifications just with our thought. However you might feel about that. Yeah, that's good. Joe, that's good. I've been very much the same. Some stuff is going amazing. Other things are going a little meh. But we're surviving and thriving as much as we can. Joy, I agree. I can't wait for Neuralink so I can just do it without effort. I like how I was like, yeah, at some point, we're gonna be able to do it. Like, I don't even know if I want the Neuralink anymore, Johan. Johan, oh. Like, I'm gonna have to get someone else's brain-computer interface, bro. I don't know how I feel about this fractal anymore, Johan. Specifically, like, I remember when we went down the rabbit holes of like, it's impossible to mind control people, and they would like set proper, like multi-air gaps. Like, I even had this whole like thing communicating in my head about like a multi-air gap system where you can have your Neuralink, your interface, right? And then you can have your computer on hand as a cell phone. And then you can have like your satellites. And then the satellites can communicate with your phone. And then your phone can communicate with your brain-computer interface. And I was like, yeah, in that way, you can have like a bunch of rules. You can have like transmission density, right? For instance, you can make your Neuralink only receive signal from a certain distance and be able to output signal from a certain distance. In other words, you can have your phone on you, and then when you have your phone on you, that becomes the link, right? Because it's close enough to be you who's trying to connect with yourself. And then the phone can be connected to the internet at large, and then that can control things further away. And you're like, what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is safety. I'm talking about safety, right? So in that way, we can have like, yeah, it's called again air gaps, right? Where the air gap between your phone and the satellite can be encrypted, and then the air gap between your processing on the phone, right? For instance, information comes into the phone. There can be an air gap in the phone as well, for it to almost like run as an understanding what is the instructions that is being sent. And then after it kind of like checks out on that side, then it can go through the air gap that is your actual, direct brain computer interfacing. And my mind was going down this rabbit hole of like, how can we ensure that this technology cannot be manipulated by bad actors? And now I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that bad actors won't try and manipulate. Won't build it to be manipulatable. Oh no, please, no. I want to live in the future. Don't make me become a hermit. Don't, stop it. Stop it. I don't want to be a hermit. Earthship birthplace is 40 miles away in Taos, New Mexico. I'm guessing is NM. We do what we can with what we got. Exactly. Almost, yeah. It is 3 years, but being paid is gonna help a lot. This is true. What, bro? Oh yeah, because of Mars. Yeah. Yeah. because of Elmo. Elmo Usk. Elmo Usk is causing me great levels of concern. Like I actually think he might have gone off the deep end. To say it just in so many words. Right? Like, I've heard the saying, mad with power. Right? And I think all of us have probably heard that saying as well. Oh yeah, he's mad with power. I think that's what's actually happening there. I think like there's actual now proper madness. Like properly having gone mad. Like, lock him up in a straight jacket, put him in a padded room kind of madness. Nisha's here too with us. Bless you, Nisha. Johan, is that you? It is Johan. Bless him. Thank you, LA, for saying hi too. Yo, that's all that life is, honestly. And that's part of the channel. Yeah, challenge. But joy is true. Hope things are going good for you. When you see it as a puzzle, it's funner to solve. This is true. The rules. I'm thinking about the rules as well now. Seeing the rules as a puzzle. Making it easier, making it more fun to solve. Yeah, I'm storing this information. Joe, absolutely. Game. Life is a game we gotta play. Game is a life. We gotta play this game as good as we can. This is true. Bosses, G-Bop and Meltmore, how are you guys? Bosses, you see that show? We are now boss together. Boss 2. To boss. Or not to boss. It's nice having you, Nancy. Is Nancy here? No, Misha. Bless you, friend. I love how we have Johan, Jovan, and Joy Vive all in one place. It is a blessing. Now we need a Mojo and a Pojo. This is true. And a Nancy and a Nisha. We need those two. Bro, so I cannot agree. It's a simple thing. Ultimate power corrupts. Bro, so I cannot disagree. I'm guessing you mean. It's a simple thing. Ultimate power corrupts ultimately. Yeah. You know, like the thing for me, Johan, the thing for me is the fact that I was so hopeful. I was so hopeful. I was so hopeful. Extra hopeful, in fact. I was hopeful enough for 2 people. Wasn't enough. Wasn't enough hope. Right? And I'm still hopeful in other ways, but I don't know if I'm hopeful in those ways anymore. Right? Like we even had a whole thing on stream, like maybe 2 years ago, where we were talking about Elmo Usk, and it came up as, for me, like a point of hurt, right? It hurt me to feel so many people hate someone, right? Didn't matter who that someone is, just the fact that that hatred was being projected towards. And I was trying to be in defense of, right? I was trying to make the point that this person's, and I want to make that point almost again to myself. This person's existence in the world has brought good, right? Has pushed us, accelerated us towards transitioning our energy systems. Has, you know, like kind of got the ball rolling a little bit faster on AI and self-driving vehicles, and will, you know, get the ball rolling on humanoid robots and the integration of them in our society. And now, as a result, will also, you know, make our species multiplanetary, has put satellites in space that is allowing us to have this live stream right now, quite literally. So it's this very surreal dichotomy that we are experiencing right now, where you can be in a certain way, all right? And at the same time, despite you being in a certain way, the other things that are certainly can be appreciated. Right? Right. I appreciate the fact that I have internet right now, for instance. Right? And if that person, for instance, got to like be like Thanos snapped out of existence, technically I think things would go on, you know, technically. But if he had to be snapped out of existence ultimately, as in he never existed in the first place, I don't know if the world would be a net better place for it. Right? And I feel like that's where I need to almost like gather myself to realize that it's not that easy. It's not that clear. It's not that simple. It's not that... I want to say understandable as well. Right? I don't think we understand the level of like crescendoing impact all of us have on one another. I've gotten a package in the mail where they thought my name was Johan. Johan's Neuralink would have booped in that moment. That's hilarious. Yo, that would be funny. Also, I'm typing too quickly. I need to chill and get my thoughts through. It's okay, bro. The problem, I think, lies with the amount of influence from other people and their ideas to the point where your life and your soul gets lost in the ocean of other people's ideas and souls. And you lose who you were and become who people made you to be. You. That's a really hot point you're making right now, Johan. Maybe that's what happened to him, right? Maybe he's always been like, and he is admittedly, right, like openly told, or I've made it clear to the internet that he's also on the spectrum, has Asperger's or autism. All right, I'm watching such a fast spider. I've never seen a spider move that fast. Like, he was moving in a way. He was like, my mind is just like, I'm gonna look away. Okay, right. So in that way, I believe people that are on the spectrum can be even more sensitive to external energies. And then he, kept kind of pushing it, and he grew more and more popular because of his everythings. Let's not go down the list. And then when he bought Twitter, I think it really accelerated his feedback loop, right? Like exponentially so, excessively so. And I feel that speed up of feedback loop, like, I'm trying to understand the mind of, right? Like, how do you get where you're going? How do you get there? I guess there's maybe like something to be said about hubris as well, and personal self-indulgence. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna add some heat to this Dynavap of mine. There's some Gorilla Glue in that chamber right now. Sounds like you're letting him off the hook. Oh no. Oh, like the opposite. Right? To me, it's the matter of, like, how the hell do you get that far lost that even I cannot let you off the hook anymore? That's where my mind is right now, Joy V. Right? Like, again, I've shared this with you, friends. My whole philosophy is love and light. And I am at a point where I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to give you any more of my love and light, bro. Like, dude, you're making it hard for me to be a good person here. Like, that's kind of where I'm at, Joy V. So it's the opposite of trying to get him or let him off the hook. Like, oh, poor autistic dude. No. That also isn't responsible for his actions. Definitely not because he was influenced by bad actors. You alone are responsible for your actions. This I agree with completely. Again, I have tolerated, let's say it in that way, Joy V. I have tolerated a lot in my life. Right? I have seen many questionable things, and I have tried in my own way to be okay, to be lovingly because or despite of, to be present with the ridiculousness of our world. And the things that I'm seeing right now from that actor, as you're saying, that potential bad actor, is inexcusable to me even. Especially since it changed. I think that's also like a big thing. Right? Like, my sentiment has changed. What I believe about this person has changed. And it takes a lot for me to do that. Right? It takes a lot for me to reevaluate how I feel about someone. Especially if I think that they are doing good things for the world. Right? For the good things to not be able to outweigh what I'm seeing right now is stark to me. And if you look at the whole gaming problem, where he paid people to play the game for him, then claimed that he was an amazing gamer, just sits so wrong with me, because, like, who are you? Wealthy, but why are you lying to us? Exactly, right? That's one of the big ones as well. And, like, many people probably don't even know about this is like a new development. One of Elmo's big things, right, is the fact that he likes to talk about what a good gamer he is, right? So not only is he a multi-billionaire genius, right, that is like so successful and whatever, But he's also, in his own words, one of the best gamers on the planet. Right? One of the best Diablo players. And now, most recently, he's one of the best Paths of Exile players. Right? And then he has a hero, right, that is absolutely kitted to the max, right? Like, jacked out of his mind. And then he, like, live streams himself playing with this character, pretending that it's his. When he doesn't understand, like, basic gaming mechanics, right? For instance, maybe you need, like, a key to open a door, alright? And then in a lot of game worlds, if you don't have the key, then the door is grayed out. And then Elon Musk continues to, like, try and open the gray door, right? This is, like, it's more like a top-down, you having to click on the door. But still, like, mechanics that you would have done thousands of times, like, something you would understand so clearly, he has, like, no grasp of. Like, why? Like, why are you lying about this? Why are you lying about this? Why are you lying to us? Like, especially to the gamers, to the people that know, the people that will know if you're lying. It's like a psyop. I think that's what we're experiencing right now. Hey Google, define a psyop. Psychological warfare. Psychological warfare, or basic aspects of modern psychological operations, has been known by many other... I'm not asking what... I'm asking you to tell me what it is. Let's do an example of psyop. An example of psyops refers to the kinds of campaigns that get inside the heads of adversaries. In a classic psychological operation, during the Vietnam War, the US government blasted messages over loudspeakers that were meant to urge Vietnam soldiers to defect. So, this to me is like him blasting onto the speakers that is the internet, defect to my side, right, like me, because I'm good at games too, right? I'm like you, I play games. But unlike you, I'm better at them than you, which means that I'm cool, and you should think that about me. You better think that about me. Think how cool I am. Right? It's like psychological warfare. And we're like, no. He games people. Maybe he's a good social networker, and that's his game. I think he is intelligent. I think he is at least moderately intelligent, right? I think he is definitely ambitious, right? I think he has a motivated direction in which he wants to continue heading. And when it comes to this world of physicality, of matter, that is what it takes to get to progress, right? And it is a kind of game in that way as well, right? You have to follow certain rules. Today's whole stream topic is you have to follow certain rules in order to get to that level, right, that he's at right now. The rules are stacked against us as normal people, but that's beside the point, right? Like, that's the system that he's basically taking advantage of. It's not like, oh, hate the system, hate the player, not the game. Hate the game, not the player. Yeah, that's the right one. Hate the game, not the player. Why my mind is getting, like, real. I'm gonna roll it back. What it looks like. Wait a second. The problem is influence the people who you were. And if you look at the whole gaming problem where he paid people, yeah, like, why are you trying to lie to us? I haven't heard of the gaming thing, but I heard my strong exhale as I read it just now. Yeah, so, like, the basics of it is that there was this Path of Exile 2 player, right? That was on the leaderboards, like one of the top 10 best players in the whole world. And this person plays a lot. You have to play a lot of this game, grind and grind on this game to get to that level and to have the kind of gear that player has, right? And then Elon Musk claims to be this player, right? But clearly isn't. Like, for example, during the inauguration, while he was sitting behind Trump, for some reason, his Path of Exile character was grinding, you know. So either Elon Musk already has a brain-computer interface and was playing Path of Exile during the inauguration, or someone else is playing as him on that account. All right, what's the more likely option right now? It's crazy that we have those two as options, but still, yeah. I'm happy you are reevaluating this person, Melt. Not only am I reevaluating Zano, but I am more than willing to admit I was wrong. I, MeltMore, was wrong about Elmo Ma, about Irama, Elmo Muscus. Yeah, I was wrong. I was very wrong. You know, I don't know if I was wrong, as very wrong back then, but I'm very wrong right now. And I wanna come clear and admit that and be like, yep, I was mistaken. I honestly did believe this person really did only have good intent for humanity, right? Sure, gaming the capitalist system, but doing so with the intent of making the world a better place. I believe that. I believe that. I did. And it hurts me. I think maybe that's what I've been trying to say, Joy. The fact that I cannot believe that is devastating to me. It devastates me. It makes me so very sad. And like, oh, fuck. No, please, don't tell me. It's not me trying to let anyone off the hook. It's more trying to let myself off the ledge. And then bless again. Okay. Okay. Geniet, mama. Love you. They're going to friends of my dad's birthday. They're gonna go eat cake. What else has he been lying about? That's my question. The answer is everything. Right. In that way, everything you've ever seen on the media side of it, right, has been probably deception. Apparently, he used to have like a whole PR team, you know, people that would like actively manage the only information that the internet received about him as a person. All right, and I might have found out about him during that era of his existence. And I think he fired, I'm pretty sure it's record that he fired that PR team and kind of like went on it himself. And I think that's where the wheels really started falling off, because then the cracks really started showing. Yeah, and in that way, everything has been a lie. I don't know if more of the truth is coming out now. Maybe, I think that's kind of what's happening. Games people, yeah. What else have you been exactly? To me, he's a troll, doing troll shit with a platform filled with his bot following to give him an audience for his little show, making people feel scared to get more money. That is a good evaluation, I think, Zano. I feel I would be okay with it if that's the only thing he was doing right now. Alright, I feel for me, the thing that I'm really getting kind of like peeved about is the control. Alright, the pulling up the ladder. The fact that solar and battery and electric vehicle tech has been made so much more expensive for the average American. And he's already one of the like established companies that already have the production scale and in-house, you know, like batteries and electric vehicles, right? That to me again, like, it's just a little bit scummy. I like there's a lot of cool Chinese electric vehicles coming out right now, right? And a lot of you American friends might not ever have access to them just because your presidency was like, nah. Actually, we don't want $12,000 cars. We don't want any of those, thank you. Give me them $45,000 gas guzzlers for the next 4 years again. I want one of those. Let's tap into that. What's his inauguration speech? America is sitting on so much liquid gold, and we're gonna use it, right? Like, they're planning on pumping all of the oil from below your feet and putting it in our atmosphere. Huzzah! I feel like that was the part that devastated me the most, right? And the fact that Elmo was so pro green energy for so long, and then to support a presidency that is anti-green technology, it baffles my brain. Hey Pratt, sorry if you don't like me calling you that. It's just funny to me. Hey Ayas, Ice, you can call me whatever you want. I am MeltMore. I pour myself into whatever vessel holds me. Alright, molten liquids usually take up the shape of their form. And in this moment, you are the form that this shape is taking. Yes. You have to almost like give the cavity that is your infinite experience, looking onto the world, seeing this part of reality. Zano, honestly agree, it's sad to see. They don't care about anything but money. And it's absurd to me, like again, like at what point is it enough? Isn't $500 billion enough? No, I want to be the first trillionaire. Why? Like why? That should be something to be ashamed of. And this web interface that shows you, that almost like tries to comparatively put into scale what that looks like, right? Really what that looks like. I'm on a family group, I'm pretty sure. Let's see here somewhere. It's been a while, I guess, since, yeah, here it is. It's called Wealth Shown to Scale, right? And then it makes you scroll right, and then it goes like, that's what $1 million would look like if you had to fill pixels with it, all right? If I could get just this, $1 million right now, my life would be radically changed, right? Forever changed. Literally, forever. Just like that little cube. Forever, I get to live a different life. And now let's look at what $1 billion look like. Still going, yeah. So $1 million, right? Life-changing money, and that's $1 billion. That's one billion. And then Jeff Bezos' wealth, right? So Elmo has 500 billion right now. So that's 1 billion, and that's Jeff Bezos. This is 185. So it's literally twice this. And you can just like, still going. Okay, there it changes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, no single human deserves that much money. Like I think it has like little bars here. Still in the billions, and in the billions, and in the billions, and in the billions, and in the billions. It fucking boggles my brain. Oh my goodness. What a world we live in. I agree with Melt on this. I was wrong too. I had hope. He just shot my face with a cannon. You guys are so amazing for this. I love you both. Well done. Sano, bless your friend. We are doomed. We are truly doomed if we cannot admit our faults and reevaluate, make decisions based on the information that we have learned from. Right? Grow despite being wrong. You have to be able to change your opinion. If you can't, you're already lost. I love how me and Johan said the same thing, bro. So right. My issue is how you're pretty much like, this weather, yeah, turn it up. Yeah, it's like, it's not global warming enough. Let's put all of the oil underneath our feet in the air. Let's do that. Like, how does that make sense? Yes, you can get money for it. But you can get money for it later as well. Nicer Spicer. What's up, my bro? Bro, we're talking about the rules. We're talking about the rules right now, and how wild this system is that we're in. How the rules don't apply both ways. What rules? Yeah, what rules? Hey! Okay, no, sorry. I thought they were eating my stuff for a second. What rules? Exactly. I think we're talking about the fact that the ultra wealthy is doing exactly that. They're going, what rules? Actually, I have money. They go to the rules. I'm thinking about a video that I saw of someone speeding his car, right? And he's like absolutely blasting his car. I think it was in the Squid Games, right? I think it was the Squid Games, where he's just like speeding his car, and then the police pull him over, and then they give him a fine, and then he literally floors his car and speeds off again, driving the same speed. And like, that wasn't, I think, intended to be a moment of, hey. But I think maybe that was intended to be a moment like that, where if you have money, I'm too high for that. I don't understand shit. I'm too high for that. It's okay. It basically goes, if you have money, you can do whatever you want. It seems. That's basically what we're being told as a species right now. And I don't know if we want to learn that lesson. Today's stream topic is about the rules, right? And I feel like if those are the rules, if have money, then no rules. Seems like a bad rule. Nah, just joking. Yeah, I know. I have money. Okay, so, this is where I ask you to give me some of your money. And then maybe both of us get to not fall. I'm joking, of course. I don't need your money right now. I would like it. I'm planning on building a house at some point in my life, And I was kind of baffled by the fact that if you want to build a house for yourself, you have to pay the government just to give you permission to. Right? I was like, what? What? Why? Why is it like that? Why is that the rules? Why are those the rules? Why do I have to pay the government to give me permission to build a place on my own land? Right? What the fuck? And then, if you don't, then they will take your home from you. In Germany, it's a little different. It is, hey Google, do you have to have a permit to build a house in Germany on your own land? Nothing. May be built in Germany without a permit. Nothing. The first word is nothing. Nothing may be built in Germany without a permit. However, there are structures that are permit free if they do not exceed certain sizes. These sizes can vary depending on location. 10, 20, or 65 cubic meters of enclosed space. 10 square meters, 20 square meters, or 65 cubic meters. So that's not very big spaces, but you can. If you want to build something, just build it. That's what I'm getting at. Nicer Spicer. That's like, now we're on the same page, right? You're completely not too high to be here for this. Because that's what I'm kind of getting at. It's like the rules. There are rules in this world, apparently. And we are being shown how the ultra wealthy are just like actively not following the same rules that the rest of us are expected to follow. Right? And then there are rules that are as simple as you are not allowed to build yourself a home, right? You might not have a lot of resources. You might only be able to gather a little bit of resources at a time and then put those little bit of resources towards building yourselves a home. And you might spend 2 years, 5 years of your life just trying to build this space so that you have somewhere to live. And then the government can say, no, you're not allowed to do that. Right? That makes my mind go insane style. Like I want to like do triple backflips off a bridge. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't say stuff like that. I'm sorry. So, like, and apparently, you know, leaving by your own volition is also illegal. Like, you're not even allowed to die. You're not allowed to build yourself a place to live, and you're not allowed to die. Like, what the fuck? In Germany, it's like all gray and rainy. You should move to South Africa. You should send me all of your cash, and then I'll hold it here in South Africa, and we can build a place together, nicer, spicier. Why is it so nice at your place? This is South Africa, and we just had like 300 mils of rain. Hey Google, what's 300 mils in inches? You see, millimeters. Yeah, we had like 12 inches of rain in the last 4 or 5 weeks. So things got very gewetted. And this is like one of our like little inner spaces. Just joking. Wait, you're not black. Why are you in Africa? Because my ancestors left. My ancestors left. They didn't like where they lived, and then they were like, oh wait, oh, peace out. And they left. And then they kept having children until I got born. The freaking audacity. Can you believe that? How freaking dare they? And then the answer is love is true. They dared because love is true. My mother left from Russia. How about that, nicer spicer? And my dad did too. So both of your parents are Russian? And you got born in Germany as well? You plan on staying there? Do let us know. If you want to, you can join us on YouTube too. Same username. May he rest in peace. Dad is dead. I'm sorry for saying it like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss, friend. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can read some chat here, because I feel like I'm falling behind a bit. My issue is how they're pretty much like this weather. Yeah, turn it up, exactly. It's been so funny. I've ordered so much shit from Temu in China at this point. I've gotten my stuff way more reliably than from America. No shade to you guys, but like it's funny to see. It is wild. Yeah, Africa has completely moved towards BRICS / the Eastern world, literally. Like we have to. And like America, foreign aid, right? The richest country on planet Earth has made it clear we're helping nobody. Nobody's getting helped. And in fact, you're going to be paying us for everything. You want to send stuff here? You're paying us. You want to buy stuff here? You're paying us. That's so bonkers. America first. Yo. America first. One world? Nah. America world. Yeah. America. Freaking America. Fuck yeah. Starts playing in the back of my head. Team America has messed me up forever. Team America is even more relevant now than ever. Zoom. No offense. Johan, none taken. American patriotism is cultish at this point. cultish is a very apt word, and I'm worried about being put on some list somewhere for saying these kinds of things. Me too. Me too. I feel like that's literally what it's like living in an authoritarian regime, right? Or a fascist world. Like that's what it's like. Being scared to say stuff about your government is what it's like to live in a fascist world. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's not how it's supposed to be. Oh goodness. Free speech, right? Johan, bless again. Yeah, just come here. We would love to see you. Yeah, don't tell them. I'm working my way out of this matrix. Yep, laws are for poor people. Literally. Becoming more aware. So true though. If tickets and fines were logical, it would be percentage-based system. I think it is percentage-based in certain places. I think in Germany, they have a percentage-based, like feeing system. I think one guy had like a $80,000 speeding fine, because of that, which makes me happy. Yes. Yeah. If you're driving a freaking Ferrari or, Lamborghini at 200 miles an hour or whatever on public roads, you're endangering other human beings by doing so, you should get fined. But if you're only getting fined like $500 for driving over the speed limit, then $500 is nothing to you because you're driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. Oh, love is true. Okay, wait, though, let's be honest. Those rules make sense when the government is doing its job, when they are supplying what is needed and using that money to do good. It's true. It's true. Again, right, I would have absolutely no problem with taxes and, systems if the taxes were going towards a good place and the systems were actually adding value, to this world and to life. I feel like, okay, let me say it in this way, right? The M2 money supply. These freaking dogs are really distracting me. They're up against my back again. The M2 money supply. Since my conception, since my parents made me and I came into this world, there has been 3 times more money printed, right? Just since I started existing. So, if there was this much money, now there's this much money, right? That's bar. So, that's just American dollar monies. My currency, the country's currency that I live in, if my dad saved, for instance, 10,000 rand, right, back then for me, 10,000 rand when I was born was almost the equivalent to 10,000 US dollars. That exact 10,000 rand today is worth $500. Right, just think about that, right? Maybe my dad, wanted to set me up with enough money to buy a car when I'm 18. So he saves like 10,000 US dollars. That's more than enough money to buy a car. Saves that money. By the time I'm 18, I can buy a car for $500. And guess what? There are no cars for $500. So bonkers, right? So I got like double whammied. I got whammied by the M2 money supply. Like there being literally more dollars. There's 3 times the amount of dollars now than there were when I was born. And on top of that, it is 20 times harder for me to acquire a single one of them. Or 18.34 times harder for me to acquire a single one of them. That's like, what the fuck? I'm gonna start screaming. Okay, I'm coming down. Good. Yes, peace has been reached. No. Using the money to good. So yeah, that's the whole fractal for me. Like the money is not only not used to do good, but they're actively debasing, devaluing the money that they're taking from us too, right? It's like, I'm going to take all of your money, and then while I'm taking your money, I'm going to take more of your money, right? It's like, this seems fair and just. This seems right. We make a petition. I think I missed some context. I'm gonna catch up soon, I'm sure. Misdirection. Not sure if you're too young to know this, but there's an old saying, remember the golden rule. Him that's got the gold makes the rules. Jeez. That's very real. That is the golden rule, isn't it? That's wild, actually. I've never heard that, but yeah, it's totally true. Misdirection, not the golden rule, I remember, but it checks out. Also, this guy is just not looking at us. We don't exist. He's got sidetracked by a rich German dude. No, I mean, I'm here. I've been here the whole time, Johan. It's hard, bro. You want to be on this side of the... You want to be on this side? Now you get to feel the fractal of me not getting to give my full attention to. You just gotta complain and it fixes itself. Democracy works when it's for the people. The problem is that it's not for the corporations. I believe this is a publicity stunt to overcome real corruption, like trying to privately own the seeds we plant and grow our food. Yeah, he's gonna fail at that at least. That's why you're Joy's favorite, Johan. You say it like you see it. No, it's true. It's a great quote from Sat. Oh yeah, I think that message of yours got probably removed or something. I can't see it on my side. You will own nothing and be happy. Yeah, Schwals. What's his name? That German guy? Yeah, at least that fractal is also gonna go away. In fact, it is actively changing more than ever. Love is true. Could you imagine what it would be for communities if you can find a billionaire, a certain percentage, because they kept breaking traffic laws? Yeah. It's like, yeah, you know, $500 to the average person is almost 10% of their capital net worth, right? The money they have in their bank account. So we're going to take 10% of your capital net worth if you speed and endanger people's lives. That's how it is. Right, and I like driving fast as well. I do. But I am 100% okay with rules like that. You know? Like, we don't have to speed, technically. And especially with self-driving cars, we won't... Like, you fine, yeah, for a traffic fine, that's $10,000, exactly. Imagine $100 fine for regular civilians means not paying the electric bill and spending the night in the dark, exactly. As someone who lived most of my life in Venezuela, inflation is something I'm very accustomed to. You see, IS, how are you supposed to respect? How are you supposed to follow the rules of a country that is actively stealing from you? Isn't it unjust too? Aren't you hurting yourself more? All right, hurting yourself faster. We make a petition. That sounds like such a good idea. Okay, like in the South Africa, we've just been shafted in the third world. Yeah, it's true. Love you. Wishes you. I don't know if I'm missing any fractals. Johan, yep, it's crazy that my country became so poor in 26 years because of a really bad government. It's so wild. I don't know if you're the exact same age as me, but I've been talking about since my birth and yada yada yada. I'm 26 years old. I'm on my way to turning 27. So the fact that you use the exact in the last 26 years because of really bad government, it is wild. Don't worry, IS. We were on such a good road, and then we got a shit president for 8 years. And in 8 years, we went from a developing country to needing to be bailed out financially. Yeah. Our debt went junk status. Hey, Google, is South Africa still in junk status? Our debt is in junk status. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, we're still... South Africa's Godongwana? Godongwana? I don't know what that means. Why is that the word? Sees exit from junk status by 2027. South Africa may be able to regain an investment-grade credit rating within 2 years, the financial minister Enoch Gonkongkwana said. Yay! So in 2 years from now, we might see foreign investment again. Huzzah. And then they're surprised. They're going to be like, oh no, South Africa is going to sell everything to China. Oh, why would they do that? It's like almost like we junk status as them. It's almost like their government just kept printing more of their money to pay themselves higher salaries. It's almost like that's exactly what happened. And then we were part of communist China. Ah, yes. How fantastic. And weirdly enough, I honestly think that's going to be a good thing for our planet. Right? Like that's how jaded I've become. That's how lost. I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of young people are there too. Where it's like, you know, the Chinese political system, you don't get to choose, right? There's no choice there. Like they are going to decide how things are. But at least, you know, the cities are safe, and, you know, people are seeing improved quality of life year after year after year. More people are being lifted out of poverty than anywhere else in the world. Yeah, the rules. Nancy, we're talking about the rules today. It's nice having you here, friend. Sending you blessings. Joyviv says, America is running headlong into the third world wall. Like, how do you have the nerve to talk about shithole countries while actively pulling out the stops to turn the one you rule into a shithole? Yeah, exactly. For me, it's the no more foreign investment thing as well. Right? Pretending like that's going to suddenly make X cheaper kind of vibes. No more foreign investment. I don't think South Africa has seen foreign investment from America in a long time. Hey Google, how long has it been since we got foreign investment from America as South Africa? Yes, the first paper I saw is from 1979. I don't know if that's true. How much foreign investment is South Africa receiving as of 2025? And how much money have we received over South Africa's last 26 years from America? Let's see if we can find some information. Search this around. Joy, for me personally, I stopped believing in politics when I was in middle school. I'm 28, Meld. We're around the same age, bro. Joy, I heard that UK is also running headlong into the third world. Yep, it's true, unfortunately. This talks about degrading them to developing country. I've seen that too. Germany on the same path. Like, Europe is falling apart. America is falling apart right now. And they think the way to solve these problems of it falling apart is to capitalism harder, right? That's what they think is going to solve the problem. We're going to have to completely reevaluate what we value as a species. Like, I feel like that's going to be the answer, right? And again, we've talked about this a lot, and it's not necessarily the most comfortable thing to talk about, especially since these creatures, let's call them, have now gotten involved. But blockchain, right? Specifically Bitcoin. At least they cannot steal that. At least they cannot print more of that. At least they cannot turn that off. At least they cannot seize your assets in that way. And I think they're aware of that as well. That's why they're kind of pushing for that fractal, because the money that they used to have, I think, is gonna have to change. And then they're gonna at least be grateful that they have some money in the crypto world. And in that way, every single person that is a crypto holder will be the direct beneficiary of them trying to maintain their wealth, you know. And like, I'm not gonna talk too much more about that because it is a can of worm that explodes really quickly, really quickly. And again, I don't wanna talk about the extremes when it comes to that can of worms either. Elmo wants to turn X into WeChat. Of course he does. You know, like that's literally how they enact control as well on that side. The actual platform might actually be that way, and then you'll link your wallets. In that way, again, could be a net good. Could teach people things. Teach them how to get away from that platform, ideally as well. America has a lot of hubris. We've gotten too comfortable in our abundance. There's a disconnect of the real world, and the real world has a pattern of keeping that stuff in check. Yeah. You know, it's a fever pitch thing, right? You do not want to have people reach a fever pitch. Like even in the olden times, they used to give the peasants almost half the year off, right? Mandatory rest. Because if they didn't, the peasants would lose their minds and start to revolt and eat the rich. When the poor have nothing to eat, they will eat the rich. Eat the rich is not a slogan of like, yeah, let's do it. It's more like a reminder of like, this is the options you'll leave us with. If you want to leave us with no options, then we only have one option, right? And like, we don't want to eat rich. We want to eat just enough, all right? And like, there is enough. There is already enough. We're not asking for more than there is. We're just asking for enough. Not sure what you mean by believing in politics. Can you elaborate? Also, if you want to hear something insane, Melt, you want to play in on the stream, but you got to listen to Carl Sagan's take on where America is heading. He predicted what we're going through in the 80s and 90s. Jeez, I wouldn't be surprised. Carl Sagan was so tuned in. I am curious. Let's see. Let me just read the comments first. I'll try and find out for sure. I've been politically homeless for a long time, like that. Rabbit. I'm not sure how to word it, but it's just pretty much, I don't think any establishment system is gonna do us any good. No government is on our side, and the system that we've been given is an illusion of choice, and it's flawed. So, Loizana is in government as well, you know, is one of the people that does care, right? That is on your side. And again, there are some people in government that are on the people's side. So, yeah, it's government, not believing in government is what they want, you know, to say it in another way as well. My government became a dictatorship and we didn't get any international help because we're a country rich in oil and we have ties with China and Russia. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, we don't really care as long as your main guy says we can have the oil. I guess it depends on where you live too. In some places, there is a least bad option. Again, the two-party system convinces us that we have to pick between two corrupt individuals. I am still hopeful. We live in a world where all of us have access to computers and now increasingly artificial intelligence. And alongside that also new like Web3. Like Web3 is actively developing, right? And to see it from the perspective of the internet has had layers. The first layer of the internet was AOL, where it was like a magazine of the internet. Some people would post things on a server, and then you could tune in to that server, right? Open that magazine, and then look what is in that magazine. Then Web 2 was when people were able to put things into the internet themselves as well. However, there was still that Web 1 element of us having to rely on a centralized entity, right? A Google, a Facebook, a Meta. Well, Meta is Facebook these days. An Instagram, a Reddit, right? A centralized entity. Reddit is one of the most valuable social media businesses right now because they sell our information, right? That's how they make their money, by selling our information to the highest bidder, or to every bidder, pretty much. They sell it multiple times. Every single API call is charged, right? So Web3 is the evolution of those worlds, right? It's now us consuming internet that we created, and it is decentralized. So it is on every single one of our devices, right? Your device can serve as storage and as processing power and as a server for this larger internet, right? We can decentralize with blockchain and with hashgraph technology as well these days. That's also a little bit more efficient. Our infrastructure in that way, right? And then it's not just one point of failure. We don't just have Google to rely on. We don't just have Meta to trust that they'll be good guys, right? We actually get to have a consensus mechanism that every single one of us are privy to and get to have a say on. And again, right, like this stuff that we're experiencing right now is almost gonna make it like clear for us. We're gonna be like, oh, okay, fine. Guess we're just going to like make better systems. Fine. Let's just do it. Let's just get away from this bullshit. And it's happening. I mean, Blue Sky is an example of that as well. Where do you live now? I ask. I'm kind of in and out there. Venezuela. Yeah. We have to show them that we don't need oil as much as they want us to. Yeah, but again, they're now limiting the importation of cheap electric vehicles, which are almost by every single metric better than any combustion vehicle you have available to you in America right now. Right, and that's a hot take, but I'll like smile standing in the face of the waves of rage that will crash upon me in me saying that. Right, because they're really good and they're very price competitive. And if everybody had access to those really good price competitive vehicles, then the need for oil would literally fall off a cliff. Like that. Overnight. Maybe not overnight. Over a year, literally. And it's happening in China already. More than 50, half of all vehicles now being sold in China are electric vehicles. That's already how it's happening. Hey Google, how is let's actually ask ChatGPT instead. How is the global demand for oil looking in China right now? The previous question about like how much foreign aid we've received from America. South Africa has received over $6 billion directly from the government foreign assistance. And most of it was actually during the whole COVID thing, it seems. And FTE accounting. Yeah, so we have definitely received a lot of funding from America as well. $6 billion is no small amount of money. But now America is like cutting that kind of fractal off completely. China's crude oil imports are projected to grow only 1% in 2025. There we go. China has reached peak oil usage. It's happened, right? 1%, that means it's basically like, so we're right at that little before it starts going down. Impact of electric vehicles, yeah, of course. Tell us about the distribution of electric vehicles to combustion vehicles being purchased in China right now. I'm getting misquadied here. The mosquitoes. Venezuela. Joe, there's so much work being done on nuclear at the moment, is true. But nuclear takes too long, bruh. It takes too long. By the time the nuclear plants are built that they're building right now, batteries and solar would have like gotten like again twice as cheap as they are right now. Right? And like they're not gonna have gotten cheaper to build nuclear power plants, unfortunately, in the same way. In the next 5 years, we gotta, like just said, make ourselves reliant on it. Yep. Off topic, I listened to a great interview with Bjork. She was promoting something new that she has seen on Apple TV. It was so encouraging to listen to her talk about the creative process and vision. Bless Nancy. Thank you for being inspired, friend. I love listening to artists' creative process. Me too. One of my favorite artists in that way to listen to and to be a part of the creative process of is David Cho. I don't know if he's a 100% good person, right? But artistically, I can separate the artist from the person. Melt, we lost 500 billion rand during COVID. Yeah. No, I know that. That part I know. Wasn't it 50 billion rand? Might have been 500 billion. Yeah, I'm in Canada. Or $30 billion lost. Not spent. It just went away. Yeah. Just like, oh, I don't know where it is. You can't do that stuff with blockchain. Right? You cannot do that. We would be able to see every single wallet that money went to. It'll be on the blockchain. And that's how it should be. Fuck, they're assholes stealing billions. Actual billions from us. Not the salt generators. No. What? Salt generators? Just disappeared. That's wild. Yeah. The company doing salt nuclear wants to make a generator a day. But again, they're going to be like small ones, right? Like 5,000 megawatt systems, I believe. Or 5 megawatt systems. And if they can do that, that would be great. But it stands to be seen. I do like those two. I would like to see them. You know, like thorium, mini thorium generators. Instead of having nuclear, you know, we can like use something a little bit less fissile. Company doing salt nuclear. Yeah, no one knows where it went. That's at least one rich guy that knows exactly. Can you tell us about the 50 billion rand that got like just misplaced or that went missing during the COVID epidemic here in South Africa? Oh, I need to actually finish this vertical stream. Yeah. Oh, goodness, you're right. You're right. Actually, Johan, it is 500 billion. 30 billion US dollars. During the COVID-19 epidemic, South Africa allocated a substantial 500 billion rand, approximately 30 billion US dollars, relief package to address health crisis and its economic impacts. However, significant portions of these funds were misappropriated due to widespread corruption and fraud. Where the feet at? All times. Can't see my feet, bro. You have to go and subscribe to Patreon/MeltMore to see my art. Yeah. Overpricing and potential fraud. Questionable contracts. Government's response. In response to these revelations, Cyril Ramaphosa, that's our president, or used to be, established a ministerial committee to investigate the COVID-19 related corruption in the state tenders. The government also published a full list of all the contracts awarded under the emergency procurement revelations to enhance transparency and accountability, public outcry, and civil society involvement. The public expressed outrage over the scale of corruption, leading to increased pressure on the government to take decisive action. Civil society organizations such as the Corruption Watch, played a pivotal role in highlighting these issues and advocating for greater transparency and accountability in use of public funds. While the exact figure being misplaced or missing is not explicitly documented, the investigations and reports indicate that a significant portion of the relief funds was lost due to corrupt activities during the pandemic. Can you explain to me how that's possible? Like, it literally baffles my mind. Didn't that money see a bank account? Didn't that bank account pay that money into other accounts? Why do we not have a record of exactly where that money went? And the way I see it is in the future, everything should be built on blockchain, where there is an open ledger and it says transparency. Everybody can see exactly which wallet these billions went to. Like, why? How is this possible? My mind is getting even more wrecked. Come on, do it for the stream, bro. Give me money, bro. Wow, they will, give me money and you can see my feet all you want. You can see my feet all day, every day. Totally. I have to at least have one folder with my feet on them in the Patreon so that this checks out. Love is true. No, please, I'm not gonna show you my feet. Usually my feet are visible on stream, but now that you've asked for them, now I have my oppositional defiance says no. These are rich. Have you heard of Arca? Johan. It's our Johan. It is our Johan. It's me, Nancy. How you doing? Haven't heard of it. Good. Nancy. It's going well. My master's is done. And I'm starting my PhD. I'm getting paid to do so. I'm in a really good state of my studies. Some other things are a little meh, but I'm getting through it. Bless him. Send even more love to Johan. Okay, so the misappropriation of substantial funds during South Africa's COVID-19 epidemic was contributed to systematic issues in financial oversight and governance. Here's an overview, and you can do governance. If you don't know what Cardano is, and the native token ADA that is attached to the Cardano network, go and do some research. Go and do some research what Cardano is, why it's cool, why it's interesting. They recently just established, I believe it's called the Plumen, or it's happening in 4 days, the Plumen hard fork, where it brings governance on chain, right? So every single person that holds one of these tokens gets to vote, gets to make governing decisions, gets to decide how money is spent, how funds are appropriated. So apparently there are a bunch of mechanisms. One of them was overpricing and fraudulent contracts. Investigation revealed that contracts for essential supplies such as PPE were often awarded at inflated prices, leading to significant financial losses. Yeah, so they would buy 10,000 masks to distribute at their offices, and then they would charge $150 per mask. We'll sign this contract to provide PPE, and then in the contract it says $150 per face mask. And they're like, okay, checks out, we'll pay that. Lack of transparency and procurement. The absence of transparency allowed the rewarding of contracts without proper scrutiny. Again, triple again, these things went into bank accounts. So after you find out that there was a lack of transparency, can you not seize these freaking funds? Inadequate record keeping, poor documentation and record keeping. Again, the blockchain keeps records for you. An expenditure making it challenging to identify discrepancies. Challenges of tracking funding, complex financial networks. Blockchain is also complex financial networks. Limited oversight. Yeah, everybody has oversight with the internet and blockchain. Potential for blockchain. Yeah. Tell me. Blockchain technology offers a promising solution to enhance transparency and accountability in government financial management. Immutable ledgers. Blockchain provides a tamper-proof record of transactions, ensuring that once data is recorded, it cannot be altered or deleted. Real-time tracking. Transactions are recorded in real time, allowing for immediate visibility into fund allocations and expenditures. Advancements in accountability. With all transactions traceable and publicly accessible, it becomes easier to hold individuals and organizations accountable for the management of funds. Implementing blockchain in the governments. Adopting blockchain in government financial systems could involve public procurement, Utilizing blockchain to manage procurement processes can reduce corruption by providing transparency and auditable records of all transactions. Fund reimbursements. Implementing blockchains for fund reimbursements ensure that funds are transferred directly to intended recipients with all transactions recorded on immutable ledgers. And with oracles and with contracts, with smart contracts that you can build on Cardano as well. You know, I am biased. I think Cardano is cool because they're like the science kids of the crypto world. We're gonna science. We're gonna do it the right way, right? You can basically have a contract. So they're doing something, or they just finished a competition of like a Doom event that was on Hydra, right? So it's like a layer that goes on the blockchain that basically allows a bunch of networks to have that same consensus mechanism, right? That like, I agree that this thing just happened. And they recorded up to 1 million transactions per second because they were inputting every frame the exact key positions of every player on that game. And then there were 4 of them competing to see who could get the best score or who would win or whatever. And then as soon as that consensus is reached, right? As soon as they agree, yes, this person pushed the buttons in the best way in order to win the game, and everybody agrees upon that, then the smart contract is executed. And the payout, the money that they are promised from this organization, automatically reflects in their wallet. Right? Like that's how smart contracts can work. So you can build, and with oracles, you can basically build sensors into this thing. So it can see things in the real world. You can give it cameras, you can give it chemical sensors, and then it can like output that data into the contract. And if the contract is like, oh yes, I need to see this, I need to have this chemical present, I have to have this color or whatever, then checks out, contract, money gets paid to the next person. Right? That's how government jobs should be. Not like, oh yeah, here's $1 billion here. And then maybe you'll do what you're supposed to do. Maybe. No. Smart contracts. If you do what you're supposed to do, then $1 billion. Right? And while you're doing what you're supposed to do, here's the funds. And then we can see exactly who you pay those funds to. Right? So you cannot just skibidi-squibbidies. Audits and compliance. Blockchain facilitate more efficient audits by providing a clear and unalterable record of financial activities. Yeah. Okay. Today's stream topic was about the rules. The rules are changing, right? Or at least they did change the rules on us a long time ago. When they depegged our currency from gold, they basically changed the rules on us. They were like, actually, our currency is just worth something because we say so. And America is now in a position, they've steamrolled enough, where they can just kind of continue printing more money. And there's nothing we can do about it. Kind of vibes, right? So in that system, new systems will arise. And we're a part of that, friends. It is scary, but it is also something that we can be grateful for. Melt's feet sharing might be another way to make money. Don't start. If I could monetize my feet, I might. Right? I feel like that's still far away enough from me. But I don't think there's really a market for that. I'm sure you'd make money with them dogs. No, please. Who the hell is demanding feet pics? Are you streaming on another platform too? I'm streaming on Reddit at the same... No, on Twitch at the same time. Twitch wants toes. Yeah. It's okay. Nah, brah. You got this, Dr. Johan. Okay, I have something to say, but it might be hard to follow. If the big bank's biggest competitor is crypto, then it's more likely that they will be gunning to shut down the internet. So therefore, Elmo has only accessible internet. Therefore, more people will buy and support this. Thank you for the bless you. I'm not exactly sure where you're going with this. If the big bank's biggest competitors, I don't think it's going to be a competitor, really.
it's going to become a part of the traditional financial system, Zano. Right? Like we're too ingrained. We're in too deep, right? For things to just change. For there to just be like, oh, actually, let's all kumbaya, right? And I used to have a lot of hope that we can all kumbaya, you know? But now, I'm not so sure. So, I have to pay attention to what's happening now next. What's the next unfolding of our technological evolution? And banks, as they were, has been a system of trust, right? Like we had to trust this system, and that was the only system of trust we had access to. So we invented new technology, right? We made something that is hard money, basically, right? Something that is hard to make more of, really, really hard to make more of. And now that's going to basically become our new financial vehicle that our species is going to be built around, you know? And in that way, it is uncorruptible. And I think, and this is my hopeful side, it is the antidote to war, right? Because on the blockchain network, you are only awarded if you add value. You are never awarded for removing value. Never, right? You are only rewarded for adding value. And killing other people, spending money on building weapons, doesn't add value to the network, right? So it will be costed out. And again, you know, if the current financial system, the current money system as we have it right now, loses its value, if a government cannot print more money to pay soldiers, then that mechanism of violence by money is going to go away as well. When we have a better form of money, right? Because now instead of just printing more of it, you have to give something away, right? And war isn't something we do because we're giving something away. War is something we do because we want something, right? And now if we have to give something away that's actually of value, like real money, now suddenly we're like, oh, I don't know if I want a war. I don't know if I want a war anymore. I might just spend the money I have on developing my own infrastructure and taking care of my own people instead of going and killing theirs to get more of their stuff, right? Because their stuff might be worth more, relatively speaking, than the amount of money that they printed, because that cost them nothing. I am churning the insanity-o-meter. Rules. How about these rules we have? Woo! I could only imagine how fired up Duck would be for this conversation, right? She's a newer artist. Maybe I haven't heard of her. I keep your doctorate a secret unless it is necessary for comedic purposes. Love is true. Has only access to the internet. Therefore, most people will buy and support this. He won't be the only one. And fortunately, there are other good people as well. That's the way I see it too. Right? Like, he wouldn't have gotten as far, Elmo, that is, as he had, if he wasn't good at getting good people to build the things that he once built. Right? And I feel those people are still good. They are in the same system that we are. They have to earn money to feed themselves and their families. But I believe that there is still a net good in the hearts of most people. And that is going to be our saving grace at the end of the day, I trust. Johan, I always wanted to be friends with a doctor. I'll go to you for all of my computer AI elements. That's hilarious. Thanks, Joe. I'm always here to help. You just gotta ask. So true. And Johan is actually getting a PhD in AI as well, I'm sure. So very, very apt. I don't know if you knew that. Says he's gonna get a PhD in computer science with his specialization being AI. I think that's the way we're supposed to say it. Reminds me. I only imagine how fired up Bless again. Arca is male, and I think living in Spain. I feel like that's all well and good, Melty, but if the basis of Internet 3 or whatever is that they are using it off the interwebs that we have now, conspiratorially, they may not last long enough. It's more a matter of, so like, let's see it like this, actually, Zano. What
what Web3 or Internet 3 means is that it's no longer localized, right? So yes, we might end up using satellite-based internet for our Web3, experience, right? And it is his satellites, right? But if you limit the internet, people will download VPNs. People will keep finding ways around that, as a mechanism. Or they will use the traditional, internet as it is. Like, again, the infrastructure doesn't have to go away. The infrastructure is like the communication pathways. The internet, as we have it right now, is localized in like boxes, right? For instance, if a foreign actor, a bad foreign actor, had to decide, I want to cripple Google, right? They could, through a lot of espionage, find out where all of the Google servers are. And then they could, have a bunch of people plant bombs and then blow these servers up, right? And then that, for all of us, would significantly reduce or diminish our internet experience, our ability to utilize the internet as a useful tool, right? Where Web3, as an understanding, is that the internet is decentralized. So instead of there being one little server or a set of servers to bomb to try and take this internet down, you have to destroy the entire internet before it goes down, right? Which is impossible. And like, again, there are incentives, rewarding incentives to be a good actor on this network, right? To be truthful, to be trustworthy, right? And no matter how corrupt you are, you cannot undo that. It's immutable, right? Like, it's literally built into how it is, right? And it's gonna stay that way at least. So I trust, right? Something that is unchangeable more than I can change the literal rules of my country. Bless you. Also, Mel, before you end this very cool stream, please show the cat video I sent you. The people need to see the 2-month-old kitten. You have a kitten? Let me see. That might be his kitten. Is that your house? I don't know that blanket. I don't know that. This is what Johan wants me to show you, friends. Look at him making the bread. Yes, little bread maker. Little kitty. He proceeds to make bread. That is super cute. And it's like, what? Will you stop, bro? Come on. Come on, do that thing where you use your hands. Oh, come on. That is super cute. Yeah. Look like a little Hellcat. I was literally, the first thing that I thought was that it looks a lot like your cat, Joe. It's hilarious. Yeah, Hellcat. Demono Catoto. That cat has been a monster in Joe's home. Also, Mel, bless. This money talk made me think about taxes. Yeah, fuck taxes. I mean, rules. How about those rules we're having? Because I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under. Did you get a kitty, Johan? I'm wondering as well. I want a cat. My house location isn't right for one now. Okay, yeah, it's true. No, Mel, hide your feet. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm in too deep. I actually don't have too much about all of it. I don't know too much about all of it. I'm not a tech person. I think art has a better chance of saving the world. Yeah. That's very hopeful. I like that. I feel the saving we need right now is we need to make it easier for us to trust each other, right? I feel like that is literally the problem that we're facing as a society, is we do not have the freedom, we do not have this will, this ability to trust one another, really, all right? And I think that's the ailment we're facing. And the only thing that is now expected of us is to make a system that we don't have to, all right? Where I don't have to trust you.
I don't have to trust a bank. I don't have to trust the government. I don't have to trust Elmo. I trust this algorithm, and I trust that a computer will execute that algorithm, and I'll trust that another computer will be executing that algorithm too. And if they don't agree about the result of that algorithm, then this one doesn't get to make a part of the little block, right? Like it's like trusting that my phone is gonna switch on if I press the button. I push the button and then it unlocks my phone, right? Like there's code that says that. And that's what that code says. It's not supposed to do anything else. And it shouldn't be changed as well. I hope you have the rest of the great day. Bless. I'm a bounce. Love to you, hon. It was so nice having you here. We haven't done a vertical stream as long as this one in a while, actually. Johan, my dude. Enjoy the day. True. Bless you. It's been a nice day having you here. It really was, Johan. Thank you for the fun conversations. It was nice chitter-chatting with you. So much love. Okay. With that, have I missed some? I think I did still miss some. Baba Koji and celebrities in my eyes. I want to get a puppy and a kitten. I think I understand more. Thank you. Thank you, Zano. Yeah, like I'm happy to talk about this stuff. I do have hope. I have, like, it brings, one of the things that brings me hope, because I'm looking at a system, I'm looking at a world, and there's very few things that make sense to me, right, about how things work right now. And then I see a lot of people trying really hard to bring something new about, right, a different way of doing things. And it brings me hope, it gives me a sense of calm. I'm a bounce. Love is true. Have a good day. I'm my dude. So much love. Yeah, I'm a goat too. Love your friends. This might be, maybe this is the last one. Maybe we don't do another one. If you're new here, subscribe. I do one of these every day. Maybe I'll do just like a short, like a mini one, like a 5-minute one on the horizontal, and I'll say goodbye. I love your friends. See you again soon. Tomorrow.